everybody, my name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about The Book of Living Secrets by Madeleine Roux. Madeleine Roux is an author that I find is either hit or miss for me. I liked the start of her Asylum series. I didn't read the novellas. I read the first book in House of Furies, but then I wasn't really like super into it enough to read the second book. And then I was really attracted to the cover of this book. And I'm gonna go ahead and say, so like the premise of it is these two girls fall into their favorite novel. And as a reader, I don't like that trope a ton. It just depends. Like, as much as I would say, like, oh man, I wish I could, like, be in Camp Half-Blood or, like, whatever, I don't meet your heroes. You know, just don't meet your heroes. And that is kind of the theme of this book. These two girls are super in love with this book. They go to this guy who says he could, like, transport them inside the book, and they're like, cool, let's do it. And when they arrive in the story, it is not at all what they were expecting it to be. And in fact, the book itself is being rewritten now that they are in it. I think it was a fun story. I think our main characters were cool. I wish they had spent more of the story together. They get separated early on, and it didn't really feel like their sides of the story really meshed. And I also was having trouble trying to figure out like what exactly the book was. Like, they kept saying it was like Bridgerton, it's like a, you know, Victorian, like, turn of the century, Regency, whatever type of story, but then there were also these, like, bandits that they said didn't factor into the story, and yet for this book, they played a huge aspect of it. So I was kind of wishing that it had played out, like, as the story, and they were like, oh, I know this scene, like, this thing is happening, and, like, to a certain point it does. And I get that the trope of this was that the book wasn't what they were expecting, but it just felt a little all over the place for me. One of the things about this book too is that it's genre bending, which I don't really know why it's genre bending, because the book they fall into is a romance, but they find themselves in a monster horror, like tentacle beast that's in the ocean type of story. And with that, like knowing Madeline Miller, I wish she had leaned more into the horror aspect of it, because as it was just a little bit like, just, oh, it's fun type of horror, which is fine, but it was really creepy, like when you'd actually get to the nitty gritty of it, but then she'd pull back like really quickly. So it just kind of had me as I was reading this book just going like, you know, like it's okay, I'm having an okay time, but I wasn't really invested in it at all. With all that being said, like I don't think it's a bad book. I just think that I had expectations for it, and then I already knew that it was a trope that I don't super love, so it just kind of ruined my experience a little bit, which is on me. I am giving this book a C- though. I do wish that some things had been different. I wish the book itself had been like more recognizable to the characters, because a lot of the times when I read this type of stuff, it kind of comes out as like, you know, oh, the book isn't exactly what you were wanting it to be, or, you know, like, oh, you should actually be within reality instead of within your story. And I'm not a huge fan of those types of storylines, just as a reader. I am a fan of don't meet your heroes. They meet their hero in this book, and it just doesn't go very well. So with all that being said, I am giving this book a C-. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I think there's definitely better from this author. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to Talk Books with me every week. That's everything I got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!